In the winter of 2013, a county plow driver near Ely, Minnesota, started keeping two sets of numbers. The mileage his truck recorded and the mileage he wrote on the sheet. He wasn't stealing anything. He just couldn't write down what the truck was telling him without sounding unwell. His name was Curtis Wade. He was 46, and he had plowed for the county highway department for 11 years, out of a garage north of town. Winter work was nights. He signed on at 11, took the keys to truck 9, and ran the Ridgeline Loop until 7 in the morning. 14 miles. County road, 12 out past a gravel pit, a right onto the old grade, and back into town from the north. He liked it. The heater, the radio low, the blade throwing white out into the dark. 8 hours of a job with an obvious result. Every driver called his mileage in at the turnaround, by truck number, on a county repeater that carried maybe 20 miles on a clear night. In November the crew repainted the mile markers. Dale, the foreman, complained that the numbers hadn't matched anything since 1978, when the state straightened the road and took 3 miles out of it. Curtis asked who had the route back then. Dale said a man named Emmett Rusk, and that the county never did close out his last sheet. The first week of December, on his second pass of the night, the trip meter read 14.3. He assumed he'd turned around twice at the pit. A plow does a lot of driving that isn't forward. The next night it read 14.4. The night after that, 14.3 again, and he started writing the number down to the 10th. By the middle of December it was 14.9. He drove with the music off and counted the markers out loud. There were 14 of them in order, the way there had always been. The markers were right. The distance between 9 and 10 was wrong. He timed that stretch at 4 minutes and 10 seconds, and at plow speed a mile takes 2.5. He slept worse. His wife taped cardboard over the bedroom window in January, and it made no difference at all. On a Sunday afternoon he drove the loop in his own car. In daylight, nothing falling. 14.0, both directions. The 22nd of January, on the long stretch between 9 and 10, the repeater opened up on its own. A man's voice. Calm, bored, the way you sound on your fourth pass of the night. It called in truck 6 at 17.2 miles. Curtis answered. He gave his own number twice. The channel stayed open a few seconds longer, and then it closed. There is no truck 6. The county retired that number in 1978, when they cut the fleet down along with the road. The repeater keeps a log. That night it recorded nothing at all. Not the other voice, and not him either. He stopped calling in after that, and he stopped playing the radio too. 8 hours is a long time in a truck with nothing to listen to. The 9th of February the wind came up, and the loop took him 2 hours instead of 40 minutes. Partway through his third pass, the fuel gauge was under the line. Between marker 9 and marker 10, the road he had plowed 40 minutes earlier was full of snow again. Unbroken. No blade marks in it at all. There were boot prints in it. They came up out of the ditch, crossed to the center line, and stopped. Nothing went on from there. No prints going back, no prints going forward. Only the place where somebody had finished walking. He kept going because stopping cost fuel he didn't have. When he looked in the mirror, the snow behind him was flat and clean. There was a marker on the right shoulder he had never seen before. The older style, flat-topped, and the number painted on it was 16. The trip meter that night read 17.2. He came into the garage on fumes at 7:10 and told nobody anything. In the morning he cleaned out the cab and found the passenger seat wet through. A hand's width of melted snow, in the middle of it. He drove the rest of that winter with the dome light on. All the light did was show him the empty seat. In the map cabinet at the back of the garage he found the survey sheets from before the straightening. The old loop measured 17 point something. The last digit had been corrected by hand, and the correction was too faded to read. He pulled the relief driver's sheets for the same nights. Every one of them said 14.0, except one line in February that said 17.2, in handwriting nobody at the garage would claim. He asked for the day shift in March and got it, because nobody wants nights. In late April, with the snow gone, he parked on the shoulder at marker 9 and walked down into the ditch. The post was lying flat in the grass, most of the paint gone, the 16 still legible on the side that had been face down. Pressed into the mud underneath it was the shape of a boot heel. He put the post back the way he found it, and drove home in the middle of the afternoon.